Knowledge management tends to take a back seat a lot of the time when compared against all the other great ServiceNow applications. But a well-governed, maintained, and supported knowledge management system is extremely important and can honestly benefit all those other applications by encouraging self-service, providing deflection opportunities, and enabling knowledge sharing across the organization. Hi, my name is Alan Andreas and welcome to Allenovation. In this video, we're going to talk about the knowledge management framework by breaking it down and reviewing 4 specific pieces: the process, the governance, defining roles and responsibilities, and knowing how to measure success. By the end of this video, you'll have some great information and tools you can utilize to help your organization or your clients with establishing a strong knowledge management system. The overarching process for knowledge management centers around these 4 main topic areas: structure, which leads to capture, which leads to usage, and then improvement. When we talk about structure, we're referring to the way that you could structure knowledge within ServiceNow's knowledge management application. To start, it's important to know that the platform provides the ability to have multiple knowledge bases, otherwise known as KBs, to use these separate customizable workflows for each KB, and it provides the ability to create a category and subcategory structure with any number of levels. Now, while you can have as many categories and subcategories as you'd like, the leading practice guidance for knowledge management says that you shouldn't have more than 5 subcategories per category and to not go more than 3 levels deep, meaning category, subcategory, sub-subcategory, and that's it. Now, back to the list for the structure process. The platform also supports unique taxonomy per KB, and that you can set up permissions which can be defined per KB using user criteria. So essentially, each knowledge base can be its own world, so to speak. The knowledge capture process relates to creating knowledge articles, using templates to provide consistent formatting, ensuring knowledge articles are part of new products or services within your organization, and use knowledge blocks. Knowledge blocks, which were introduced in the London release, are reusable pieces of content secured by user criteria that you can add to knowledge articles in a knowledge base. User criteria can be specified at the block level, which controls if users can read or cannot read the block content. So let's take a look at an example use case. You may have a scenario where your organization has salary and hourly employees. Your organization may have different policies related to paid time off, or PTO, accrual rates, depending on your employment status. For example, salary employees may have accrual rates at a faster pace that vary based upon however many years you've been with the company, whereas hourly employees have a fixed PTO accrual rate across the board. In this scenario, you could have just one article related to PTO that could have static header content, such as a definition of what PTO means and how early your organization recommends that you submit for it. This is a content that everyone sees, and after that static content, you could leverage 2 knowledge blocks, one for salary employees and one for hourly employees, to then show additional information that's relevant to the specific user. This is used by defining user criteria that utilizes data from their user profile. The next topic in the knowledge management process journey relates to usage, and so the focus here would be to reuse knowledge, whether through knowledge blocks or the content being related to other areas of the platform, such as request items or attached to incidents. Make knowledge easy to understand and be accessible. encourage user interaction, such as providing feedback, giving ratings, or to report issues with the content so that it can be updated or corrected. And ensure that the content can be trusted. Is it up to date? Is it relevant? To improve knowledge, you'd want to set knowledge review cadence and action. Act on knowledge feedback. So don't just capture feedback and ratings from end users and then let it sit there. Consider spot checking content for data accuracy, usability, and readability. Monitor for duplicates. You want to encourage more articles to be produced within your knowledge management system, but at the same time, ensure you don't add duplicates. And then finally, use reporting and dashboards, such as performance analytics and other metrics. Another important tip to improve knowledge is to create a knowledge content styling guide so that the content follows a consistent format. Here's a few suggestions to use in your guide. Remember the audience. Don't reference a specific customer or ticket if the article derived from a real-world scenario. Use numbered steps if the content features instructions. Keep attachments small and relevant. And spell out any abbreviations and acronyms the first time they are mentioned within the content. As always, use spell check. Consider standardizing the font types and sizing. Product names should be proper nouns. Use logical formatting, a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then consistent verbiage for keyboard and mouse actions, such as using click this, not hit or press. So that covers the process piece of the knowledge management framework. Let's talk about governance. Governance is an extremely critical component of the knowledge management framework, as without it, your knowledge goals and ambitions may never get off the ground, the content will be inconsistent, the messaging will be all over, and most importantly, the end users will have a poor experience and they may not even use or trust the information. It's important to set clear expectations for how knowledge will be managed in the organization to include ownership of key areas. Content owners need to be held accountable, but at the same time, the governance structure should provide support for knowledge management like a support team, appropriate training, and reference materials such as examples, templates, and so on. Within knowledge management governance, there are 6 roles that are common. These are the process owner, content owner, stakeholders, knowledge manager, knowledge contributor, and knowledge user. The process owner would ideally be a senior manager that has the ability and authority to ensure that the process is rolled out and used within all departments. They'd be responsible for establishing and communicating the process mission, goals, and objectives to all stakeholders. Responsible for resolving any issues across departments. Reporting on the effectiveness of the process to senior management, executing process initiative improvements. A content owner is considered to be a subject matter expert in a specific knowledge area, and they'd be responsible for maintaining the technical accuracy of knowledge within their key area, developing knowledge in accordance with publication standards, but they're not the only ones that are creating content. They're also responsible for validating the accuracy of new content and approving content. Stakeholders are anyone who has an interest in the use and accuracy of knowledge articles. So this may include customers, partners, employees, shareholders, owners, and other individuals. Knowledge managers are responsible for managing and coordinating the day-to-day knowledge management activities, for reviewing knowledge content to ensure its valid and quality standards are followed, for assigning submitted content to content owners for validation and review, creating and maintaining templates, gathering and reporting on metrics. Knowledge contributors is a role commonly held by many different people, and they're responsible for submitting articles and contributing to the knowledge base, following quality standard guidelines, correcting their submitted content per the content owner's recommendations. Knowledge users are anyone who uses the knowledge management system, and recommended responsibilities include using knowledge as much as they can, providing feedback on existing knowledge, whether it needs to be updated or it's incorrect, identify knowledge gaps by suggesting new content. Now that you've been exposed to the different roles and responsibilities related to knowledge management governance, who fulfills these roles at your company or for your client? Your next goal would be to identify who should be involved and at what level. So now that you know more about the knowledge management process by learning how to structure, capture, use, and improve your knowledge management system, you've also learned about the various roles and responsibilities that support those efforts. But how do you measure success? That's one of the most important questions, especially as you try to demonstrate and show the value to senior management. As mentioned previously, you can run reports, and ServiceNow includes many reports out of box. You can quickly focus on the content that's been created in the past 30 days, look at content created by author, and even data related to content usage. Even if these reports aren't exactly what you're looking for, they're great examples and a fantastic starting point. Additionally, it's important to identify key performance indicators, or KPIs, that are tied closely to critical success factors related to process and operational effectiveness. For example, let's say you have a KPI focused on increased usage of the knowledge base from a process perspective. Metrics that would support that would be trend data that shows the percentage of articles that were reviewed and a percentage of articles associated with other process records. If you were interested in that same KPI, but from an operational perspective, then you would utilize a report that shows you the percentage of articles used. For example, service desk agents attaching knowledge to incidents. Remember that out-of-box report you saw a moment ago related to content usage? Well, you could simply use that same report, but change it to a trend type. We've covered a lot of great information today, and hopefully you've learned something towards establishing a well-governed, maintained, and supported knowledge management system. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and if you enjoy ServiceNow content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel and like this video. Once again, my name is Alan Andreas, host of Allenovation, and until next time, take care.